Welcome to the WP Builds podcast, bringing you the latest news from the WordPress community. Now, welcome your hosts, David Wormsley and Nathan Wrigley.
Hello there and welcome to this episode 133 of the WP Builds podcast. This episode's entitled Helping Coders Run Successful Businesses with Hahna Kane Latonick, and I'll tell you a bit more about that in a few moments. It was published on Thursday the 20th of June 2019. My name's Nathan Wrigley from pictureandword.co.uk, a small web development agency based in the north of England, and because it's an interview episode, we shall not be joined by David Wormsley, because we're going to be joined by Hahna Kane Latonick instead. A few things before we begin. I'm going to be attending WordCamp Europe in Berlin this week. Please, if you are attending also, come and find me. I'd be most grateful to meet you guys in person. That would be lovely. Suppose the best way to do that is to drop me a message, tag Nathan Wrigley in the WP Builds Facebook group, or you could use @WP Builds on Twitter. I'm a little bit of a Twitter novice, so do forgive me if I don't reply right away, but I'm sure I'll work it out as the days go on. But it would be very nice to meet some of you, learn more about you, sit next to you, have a beer and have a chat. That would be really nice. Some other things before we begin, just to let you know that every Monday in the Facebook group we do a live version of the WordPress Weekly News. I publish a text and audio version very early morning on a Monday, and then we do a live version with some notable WordPress personalities in the afternoon UK time. And if you go into the Facebook group at about 2 p.m. UK time, you'll be able to see us doing that. Now, oddly, this week, because of the fact that I'm in WordCamp Europe and I'm basically on a plane coming back, we shan't be doing that on Monday. We'll be doing it one day later on Tuesday, and if the stars align, I'll be joined this week doing that live by Paul Lacey, David Wormsley and Tom Carlos from Beaver Team Pro. So come and join us. I'll post something in the Facebook group on Monday just before we start. Some other things to mention, please head over to wpbuildsbot.com/subscribe and you can join our mailing lists and find out about all the ways that we can keep you in touch with all the things that we're doing. /deals if you want to go and check out some deals. We've added some new deals onto that page over the last couple of weeks. So for example, you can get 15% off Admin Pages Pro, 25%, this is our new one, off WebArcs, 15% off Lifter LMS, 20% off Project Huddle, and the list goes on and on. So go and check some of that stuff out. /advertise if you would like to advertise on the WP Builds podcast. We've got audio adverts and we've got banner adverts, and the ads sound a little bit like this. The WP Builds podcast was brought to you today by the Page Builder Framework. Do you use a page builder to create your websites? The Page Builder Framework is a mobile, responsive and lightning-fast WordPress theme that works with Beaver Builder, Elementor, Breezy and other page builders. With its endless customization options in the WordPress Customizer, it's the perfect fit for you or your agency. Go to wp-pagebuilderframework.com today. And we do thank them for their support of the WP Builds podcast. Right, let's get to it today. Today we've got Hahna Kane Latonick. She's all the way from Florida in the United States, and she is a coder. She's a full stack coder, but a few years ago she decided she wanted to change that up a little bit, and she decided she wanted to help people run their businesses. So her kind of elevator pitch really is that if you're a coder, but the marketing side, the business side, running the business, doing the advertising, getting the clients through the door, if you're good at coding but not necessarily good at the business side of things, well, that's where she's positioning herself. So if that sounds like you, stay tuned, and Hahna Kane Latonick will give you some advice on how you might be able to increase your business. I hope you enjoy it. Hello there, thank you for listening to the WP Builds podcast once more. Today from Florida in America, we have Hahna Kane Latonick. Hello, Hahna.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, it's not morning. Yeah, we're about 5 hours separate. So yes, of course, it's morning where you are. I've got you up at an absurd amount of time in the day. It's like 7 o'clock or something where you are. So apologies for that. Hannah's on this morning because she's come to my attention for something that she does. Now, don't be misled by the URL that she's got. She can explain that for you in a moment. But the URL that we're going to be looking at today is inventwithcode.com, all as one word, no spaces. And Hannah's thing, if you like, over the last period of time is she's been putting together resources, courses, technical expertise to help people like you and I, developers is the broad umbrella term, to lift their game, to raise their business. So, Hannah, the first question is, who is a developer in your eyes? Who is your product aimed at?
Sure. So to me, a developer is someone that invent things with code, right? So they program using different languages. And for the audience that I'm focused on helping specifically are web developers. Many of them focus on front-end web development, right? So you have the triad of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, as well as those that expand in using React, for example. And then about 1% of them are full-stack developers working both the front end and back end.
Okay.
But I would say that the skills and concepts and expertise that I share could be applied to any developer that wants to freelance, whether they're using Python, for example, to develop software solutions, to run their own business, and just want to monetize their coding skills.
Yep. So although what we're going to be talking about today is not necessarily the increase in productivity of your ability to code necessarily, I suppose it would be good to get a little bit of background on you, where you've come from, why it is that you are an authority figure in this area. So can you tell us a little bit about your history with WordPress, coding, and business and so on?
Sure, absolutely. So I actually have a bachelor's and master's degree in computer engineering, where we focus on a variety of programming languages. And for the past 10 to 12 years, I've been working as a engineer developing software solutions for the Department of Defense, as well as defense contracting companies. And over the past 2 years, I decided to also dive into entrepreneurship. And so I've been actually led a few startups as CTO of two of them, teaching kids how to code,
Nice.
as well as teaching them how to develop websites, as well as introducing them to web design as well. But also leading another startup of pretty much training up the next generation of developers. And so for me, given my engineering background as well as my business background, I really enjoyed the intersection and showing people of how they can monetize their skills, specifically their coding and development skills, to run their own business either from home or remotely.
Yeah. When I saw your URL, Invent with Code, it sounded to me very much like I was going to stumble across a site which had tutorials on how to achieve this in Python, or how to achieve this with HTML, or React, or whatever it was. Not the case at all. Did this business iterate away from that? Is that how you began it, possibly?
Right. So I'd say Invent with Code has definitely evolved over the past year, where I definitely did start out thinking about, well, who do I work with the most, right? And I work with people who invent things with code. And I was like, oh, that's a catchy name. And so on that website, I wanted to share with folks how web developers can maximize their earning potential by showing them how to land their dream job, or become a freelance developer, or even run their own agency. And so I definitely started out sharing the best resources for web developers. So if you take a look at the past blog articles, I definitely share a lot of roundup of resources for web developers so that they can hit the ground running. But over time, in building a relationship with my audience, a lot of them wanted to know how they could start their own freelancing business. And so that's where I pretty much have began to transform Invent with Code, of focusing more on that intersection of business and coding.
Okay.
And so essentially I've been putting together different services and courses around this particular topic.
Okay then, so I'm about to say something which it may sort of come across as a little bit offensive. I hope it doesn't. I certainly don't mean to. And it's a broad generalisation, but I'm wondering, is there any truth in what I'm about to say? Are people who are hardcore coding focused people who are wrangling the code all the time, are they not necessarily the kind of people who are good at marketing themselves, good at finding clients? What I'm trying to think in my own head is they're more focused on the screen and the solutions than they are at the business of finding clients and attracting new business. Is that wrong or offensive in any way? Sorry.
No, you bring up a great point. And it is a common observation that with developers and engineers, including myself, in which, we like to focus on the technical side of things, right? That's where our strengths lie, and that's where we're the most passionate about of how we can utilize technology to turn an idea into reality. And many developers and engineers, including those that I work with, do struggle with the business side of things just because they're not as experienced with it, right? They're definitely able to market themselves. They're definitely able to start their own business. It's just a matter of building up that knowledge and expertise to do so, right? And that's what I really enjoy, is helping to show web developers how, pretty much the business side of things, to show them how they can market themselves, how they can monetize their coding skills. Because one common question is, well, how do I even get clients? Or, how do I even go about doing this? And I love showing web developers how to do that.
Yes. So just to be clear, the inventwithcode.com website is one that is not teaching you how to write things in Python and React and do the nitty-gritty of wrangling the code. That's not the purpose. The purpose is about taking people who already have those skills, who are basically marketable, who have a fighting chance of marketing themselves as a developer, and turning them into somebody that can actually attract the more human side of things, the client relationships and all of that.
Exactly. And I do provide, I would say, resources for web developers, whether I come across a killer tutorial or if I come across a service that I think will definitely help them, whether it's a course, for example, that'll teach them advanced development skills. I definitely share that with the community so that they can continue growing their technical skill set. But we primarily focus on showing them how they can utilize their skills to launch and grow their own business.
Now, this is a complete aside, but it strikes me as quite an interesting approach that you've got on your website, because I think it's fair to say that, we're used to finding sites where there's courses and you could sign up for this offer or that offer. But it's not, I don't often see this. You have a preamble sequence. So the sequence is that you consult with somebody. You've got a Calendly link on your website, and the first step in the process is actually booking time with you. Now, is that time one-to-one like we're having now via a Skype call or something like that? And if so, how's that working out? Why did you decide to give up what is probably quite a lot of your free time before they've expressed lots of interest? That would be quite interesting to me.
Well, first, I'm an extrovert. And I really enjoy connecting with people, hearing their story, and just really trying to understand where they want to be, right? And one of my personal enjoyments is just helping people become their best self in life and in their career. And so I really enjoy just getting on the phone with someone and just asking, what are they struggling with? What problem do they have? What are their goals and aspirations? And how I can help, be a part of their journey to get them from where they are to where they want to be. Yeah.
One of the things that I'm always trying to do when I'm sending out proposals, actually pre-proposal, to be honest, is I'm trying to figure out whether the client and I are a good fit. Now, the way I've decided to do it is with contact forms and things like that. I put my figures on the contact form, and hopefully the fact that they're realistic will weed out people who are not that interested. Is that also part of the thing? You're trying to you engage very quickly, and so almost immediately you have a conversation with somebody and you can establish rapport or no rapport, whether they've misjudged what it is that you offer or so on. Is it a way of filtering out that stuff as well?
Yeah, so it is a part of a qualifying process, right? I would love to help everyone, right? But we only have so much time in a day. And I also want to ensure that the folks that I'm connecting with are really serious about running their own freelance developer business. And so for me, my process is that, and this is all, I build all this on using WordPress. And so essentially what they do is they book a call, and during that scheduling process, they fill out just a very short form, right? Some people call this a survey or a questionnaire or even a quiz, but you just fill out a very short survey, which will give me a better idea of where you are and whether or not you have, I would say, the time and resources available to work together. And based on the survey, that allows me to know whether or not this will likely be a good fit. Then we proceed with conducting the call, where I get to pretty much know you a little bit more and your aspirations. And then on that call, definitely cements whether or not it's a good fit or not moving forward.
I'm quite lucky in that a lot of my business comes locally, so I do end up in the car quite a lot. So I conduct meetings face to face. But I'm interested to see if anybody's got any thoughts on this. When this podcast goes out, I'd be interested to see if anybody does this for their regular website business. The people that are just building websites for clients, whether or not they employ this strategy, because I think that's really nice. The idea that you speak to somebody not on the phone but face to face before, I think that would, as you say, it would qualify an awful lot better. So, okay, let's move on to the two products that you have at the moment. So you've got two distinct things which you can find at inventwithcode.com/courses. There's one called the Freelance Developer Masterclass, and that seems more like the, well, for want of a better word, the entry level thing that you're offering. And then the more fully featured, if you like, or I suppose it's catering to a different audience, people who've perhaps got more experience, is Propel Your Business. Should we, in a certain amount of detail, break down the first one, Freelance Developer Masterclass? I'd like to know specifically what's in it, who it's targeted at, and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. So we can consider the Freelance Developer Masterclass as like the undergraduate level, and then the Propel Your Business as the graduate level.
Okay.
And so for the Freelance Developer Masterclass, we show you how to go from $0 to $10,000 with your freelance developer business over 90 days. And it's the only done with you freelance developer training program that truly provides a complete A to Z system for becoming your own boss, getting more clients, and making more money at the end of the day. Because who doesn't want to do that, right? And so for the Freelance Developer Masterclass, you get access, you get lifetime access to the curriculum in which we will craft your freelance strategy. We'll determine who your ideal audience is, because a lot of people try to sell everything to everyone, which ends up you selling nothing to no one. And so we really want to identify who are the right prospects for you to attract so that you can sell the right thing to the right person. We identify what those services you'll offer, as well as the pricing. A lot of web developers ask me, well, how do I price my services, right? I don't want to come in too low. I don't want to seem like I'm ripping people off. So we really dive into how to properly price your services. We also show you how to craft a compelling portfolio because that is your first impression for prospect clients. So we want to ensure that you're putting your best foot forward. And then we really dive into the marketing and sales, showing you, over 42 ways of how to attract high converting clients, as well as the sales process so that when you meet with that prospect, you're closing the deal, during that first meeting. And then lastly, we go into how to manage your different projects, especially if you're juggling multiple projects, how to manage your clients, including managing multiple clients, and then how to manage your business. A lot of folks that are starting out, they get caught up working in their business and in the day-to-day routine, and so they don't have enough time to really work on their business.
Oh, yeah.
And so we show them how to manage their business so that they can grow and scale over time. And so that's the core curriculum of the Freelance Developer Masterclass. But I also provide several bonuses as well. So you'll get 4 one-on-one personalized coaching calls. They're 30 minutes each. We can do that either over Skype or over the phone, because I really want to get to know the people that I'm working with and more about their journey, but also allows the students to ask questions so that they're always moving forward, right? And so on these calls, I want our web developers to fail fast, fail often, and fail forward. And so these coaching calls really keep them on track to meeting their goals. We also provide group coaching, so not only getting feedback from myself every 2 weeks on these group coaching calls, but you also get feedback from the community. You also get access to the exclusive Facebook mastermind for daily community support. And the 3 other bonuses that I really enjoy offering is the Protect Your Business package, where a lot of web developers who are new to starting their own business need to know how to protect themselves from, being taken advantage of by clients, ensuring that they get paid, but also ensuring that they don't get sued, right?
Right.
And so we offer your, Protect Your Business package, and I will personally audit your freelancing profile and your freelancing portfolio so that you can get direct feedback on how to make it even better. And then lastly, for those that don't think that they're a master of their craft, right? Because some folks feel a little intimidated by the word masterclass. They don't think that they're ready yet, but I'll let you know you're definitely ready where you are. But I do provide free access to my Freelance Developer Jumpstart course, which will allow you to land your first client in 7 days. So you can just hit the ground running. So all of that comes with the Freelance Developer Masterclass.
When you were talking about that, you talked rather a lot. I can't remember the exact language you used, but you said we'll help you do this, and we'll do this for you. So it kind of sounds like, aside from the coaching calls and the the one-on-one bits and pieces, it sounded like you sort of getting personally involved. I'm just interested because I've been on courses, not like this one specifically, but been on business development courses and things like that online, and the way it's worked in the past has been I've signed up, paid my money, got access to the course. It's kind of an LMS system, so I watch a bunch of videos, fill out a questionnaire to prove that I can go on to the next step, download some documentation which might have some templated emails or something to help me along my road, and then I go on to the next video and watch the next video. Is that how this works? Is it a series of structured videos, or is it text-based, like Word documents or something like that? Or is it more speaking with you personally, working towards speaking you personally in between times?
Yeah, so it's a hybrid approach. For me, I try to make it as engaging and interactive as possible. But I also know that we all have our own schedules and we're all at different points in life. So I also want to be able to provide self-study resources so that you can truly go at your own pace. Mm-hmm. So all the material is hosted currently, as the date of this podcast, is currently hosted on Teachable. So you get full immediate access to all 10 modules of the course. It's a combination of video, audio, as well as transcripts and different text content. And then within in addition to that, which is mostly self-paced, that's where you can schedule your coaching calls, truly interact with the community on Facebook for both the daily community support and the group coaching. And so all that all together, and we have an awesome community. I'm sure you can speak to this as well for WBuilds, but the community is very helpful, very engaged, and they also want to see you succeed. So with myself plus the community, we can help everyone along the way, depending upon where they are.
Did you, when you were sort of putting this together, did you put together like a summary of all of the bits and pieces in the course? Is there like a contents page, if you like, where we could go and see what the individual elements are one by one and work out if most of that we don't need or we do need?
Yeah, so I do have a content page. So on the sales page, it does list out the curriculum. And one of the purposes of the call is to really identify where the web developer is on their journey, right? Whether or not they're starting out or they have started, but they're just not getting clients. And so the reason why I provide full immediate access to the course is so that you can jump in exactly in the material where it's the most relevant, applicable to you. I always find it frustrating where material gets dripped out and I'm like, I already know this. Yeah. When am I actually going to learn something new or something valuable? And so for me, providing full access and jumping on the call, then I can provide a more personalized roadmap of how they can go about navigating the material.
Yeah. I think you mentioned 90 days. There was this sort of 90-day aspirational target of getting a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time for your business and, make yourself feel more positive and buoyant about it all. If somebody was to sign up for this, is this a 90-day sort of paywalled thing? In other words, after 90 days, does their access cease, or do they get ongoing access thereafter for everything, or just the Facebook group, or just I don't know, maybe that's something worth talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And so in the pursuit of wanting to monetize your coding skills, say as a freelance web developer, I provide lifetime access to the material. Everything is downloadable. And so, whether you're on the go and you just want to watch it on your phone, for example, but you get lifetime access. So even after the 90 days, you still get access to that. You also still get free access at this time of the recording. You get free access to the community. And so even after the 90 days, you can stay within our Facebook group, ask questions, engage with the community, ask questions. For me, participate in the group coaching calls, because at the end of the day, I want to see you succeed, right? And again, going back to my personal enjoyment is helping people become their best self in life and in their career. And so whatever I can do to help, I don't want money to necessarily get in the way of that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, good answer. So as it is at the moment, of the date that we're recording is that you get access to everything in perpetuity. But it sounded like, the way you were phrasing that, sounded like that may change in the future depending on how it goes, I guess.
I would say with how it grows, and as well as the just how the course evolves, because I'm always engaging with my audience and with my students, I'm updating the material often and adding even more value into it. And so as the course evolves, as does the business side of things, right? So.
Yep. Okay, so that's nice. We now know about what the undergraduate level freelance developer masterclass is. So then we've got the postgraduate level, the MA or what have you of your services. So this is called Propel Your Business. What's the difference? Who is this aimed at? Is it worth striking out on the second one before the first one, or should you always go through the first one? Tell us about Propel Your Business.
Sure. So Propel Your Business evolved after creating the Freelance Developer Masterclass. So after the students have gone through that, they're asking, well, is there more, right? I want to continue working with you. I want to continue growing my business. How can we do that? And so this really came out of the need of the community. And the Propel Your Business course is focused more on personalized coaching and consultations, where for folks that already have an established business, whether they're working on it, say full-time or even part-time, but they really just want to take their business to that next level. Either they've plateaued or they just want to continue growing and scaling, but they just don't know how to do it efficiently or in a cost-effective way. And so with that, I continue with the 4 coaching calls. So you get the 4 one-on-one coaching calls. We still do the group coaching together. But I would say the key difference here is that, I'm dedicating more of my time to provide you with an even more personalized roadmap to identify the bottlenecks in your business that is preventing you from achieving that business growth that you want. And so my goal is that by working with you, we will double your sales, in 6 months or less, and pretty much providing you with that roadmap of how to achieve that result.
And again, is this something that you would vet people, as it were? You would give them an insight into whether this was worth it for them if they go through your sort of preamble call at the beginning?
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that it's a good fit for both of us, right? And I always say that for the people that I help, I'm only successful if they're successful. And so I want to ensure that, one, the person is serious about doubling their business or just truly growing it in an exponential way. But also they have the time and resources to really commit to this intensive because it really is a high touch, very personalized. And I want to ensure that you're ready to sit at the table and make this happen.
Do you have you enjoyed this process? I mean, just from a sort of personal point of view, you've pivoted, you've moved away from teaching how to code, shall we say? Let's just sum it up like that. And now you're into this helping people make their businesses work better. Are you enjoying this process? Is it a lot of hard work? Are there unexpected things that you didn't kind of foresee on the way?
I would say for me, I love it. I mean, the fact that I'm up at 7 a.m. talking about, business and how to monetize your coding skills, I definitely have a true passion for this. And for me, it's the motivation is just seeing the impact that it has on people's lives, right? The fact that they can start their own business. Many folks want to be able to provide an additional income for their family. And so just seeing the impact that not only it has on the individual, but also on their family, it's very empowering. And so if I can help one person start their own business to help out, their community and other small businesses, it's all worth it.
Is this something that you're going to do as a full-time thing? Do you have this as your full-time thing? Do you have other things going on at the same time, and this is something you do on a part-time basis?
Absolutely. I would say with the audience that I've grown and the clients that I've helped, I can definitely see this growing into a full-time gig, right? I always ask myself, well, what do I want to do after I retire, right?
Yes.
And it's exactly this, right? So rather than waiting until I'm, say, 65, let's just do it now, right?
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy being able to do this and being able to have the time to dedicate to my clients to help them achieve their goals.
What would you say are the sort of quick wins that you've discovered? I mean, I know the intention here isn't to sort of extract from you all of the hard work that you've done inside your course, but I was just wondering if you could give us, like, for example, if we take the undergraduate level course, the Freelance Developer Masterclass, what are some of the common themes which come up, some things which people could implement straight away that might improve their ability to get clients and keep clients?
Sure. So I would say the biggest thing is the aha moment of folks realizing that they already have what it takes to get clients. A lot of folks believe that they're not good enough or they're not ready yet. And I really show them how they can use their immediate network as well as their community to find clients. And for me, I always see the light bulb go off where they didn't realize of who they could go and reach out to of people that they know to build them a website. A lot of web developers starting out feel that only they have to go on Upwork to get clients, and really that's really where they traditionally start. And I show them unconventional methods of getting clients within their networks within their community, and just seeing people actually take action and put themselves out there is a huge win for them. And right now I have someone that is trying to land a client in their local community, and they never would have thought of reaching out to this particular business, and they're doing it, and it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is quite nice. Any others? Any other little things apart from how to find clients? Any other little quick nuggets that you want to give away?
Sure. So another, I would say, quick nugget is for when it comes to pricing. A lot of folks, I would say, they say that they just offer like one thing, but I introduce them to different ways that they can create packages or tiers for their business. And as simple as it sounds, but it doesn't really come across people's minds, is usually they think, okay, they build the website and then they're done, right? And just introducing different ways, different retainers to keep that client on board, as well as, for example, if they're offering a package that might be outside of someone's budget, of being able to set up what I call a membership or an all access pass, where rather than paying out for something full price, say rather than paying $1,000 out for something that, or let's just say $500, for example, for like a landing page. They can actually just break that up into a membership price of, say, hey, you get, pay $50 a month, for example, and you get access to a variety of my services rather than just this one thing that you're asking for. Therefore, it makes it more affordable and the client gets more value.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's like a membership of, I do website care plans, but it's very much you pay for this thing, and this is the laundry list of stuff that you get, and if you pay more, you get these things but not these things, and so on. So you're a bit more mix and match than that. Oh, that's interesting. Do you also have a network? Obviously, you've been in this business of writing code and being employed by people for years and years. Is that something that you offer as well? Do you actually go out and help find the work for people, or is this very much self-help advice?
So since I'm tapped into different networks, I definitely take the time to advertise different opportunities within the group, as well as providing the opportunity of members to self-promote within the group. We have a thread where you can offer your different services, because at the end of the day, we would love to do everything ourselves, but we can't due to time, and we all know our strengths and weaknesses. So I really enjoy connecting people together who can help each other out, right? And so for me, being able to build relationships across communities and advertise how pretty much a win-win for everyone. I definitely enjoy providing that to the group.
Nice. Well, thank you. We've reached sort of the normal amount of time that we go for these podcasts. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to sort of knock it on the head, as I say, or we say in the UK. But before then, if there's anything you would like to say, any URL, any email address, any Twitter handle or so on that we might be able to find you, should this have piqued our interest, go for it.
Absolutely. So again, I'm Hahna Kane Latonick with Invent with Code. You can check out my website, inventwithcode.com. You can email me, hannah@inventwithcode.com. I would like to offer your audience a free 30-minute consultation.
Ooh, thank you.
And so you can schedule that at inventwithcode.com/consulting. Definitely, if you're interested in propelling your business, download our Double Your Business checklist. We go over 50 different ways of how to double your business. So you can grab that at inventwithcode.com/DYB. That's short for Double Your Business. And then lastly, if you're interested in the Freelance Developer Masterclass, I highly encourage you to apply at inventwithcode.com/apply.
Oh, groovy. Thank you. Thank you. That's really interesting. So if you're a developer and you're maybe new to this game, or you are struggling to find clients, or you want to, increase the amount of clients that you've already got, Hahna has all sorts of resources, and you can reach out to her and avail yourself of her free 30-minute consultation in which you'll find out whether you're a fit for her and she's a fit for you. So thanks very much for coming on today, Hahna. Much obliged.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for making it to the end of the podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope that Hahna Kane Latonick's messages meant something to you. Perhaps something that she said will have appealed to you. If you're a coder and struggle to run your business, then maybe some of the things that she was mentioning today might ring a bell, and it's maybe something you want to explore a little bit further. The WP Builds podcast was brought to you today by WP and Up. 1 in 4 of us will be directly affected by mental health related illness. WP and Up supports and promotes positive mental health within the WordPress community. This is achieved through mentorship, events, training and counselling. Please help enable WP and Up by visiting wpandup.org/give. Together, we can press forward. So please, the message that I gave out right at the beginning of this podcast, if you're at WordCamp Europe this week, please hook up. That would be lovely. Join me in the Facebook group. Tag me at Nathan Wrigley or at WP Builds on Twitter. It would be very nice to catch up with some of you. Join us on Monday when I will potentially release the news. It might be late this week because of my doing stuff at WordCamp Europe. If it's late, I apologise. It might come out a day later. But nevertheless, join us then, and join us next Thursday for the podcast. I will fade in some cheesy music. Bye-bye for now.